allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number one.
Minutes of the City Council meeting, February 25th, 2013.
Madam President.
Councilor Ossing.
Thank you, Madam President. Motion to accept and place on file.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Number two, before you read the continuation of the public hearing, I will be excusing myself from this. I am an abutter to the project.
Now is the time to set the continued public hearing on the petition from NGrid to install 6 new heavy-duty handholds in the area of Bigelow Heights, URD, Bergeron Road, Algon Circle, Duca Drive, Rogers Ave, Evelina Drive, and Hood Street. Order number 1213-100-5285.
Public hearing format will be taken in 4 stages. 1, the public speaking in favor. 2, questions from the public. 3, public speaking in opposition. And 4, questions from the council. Anyone here speaking in favor of the project? Please give your name and address.
My name is David Marine, 179 Bailey Road in Holden, Mass. I work for National Grid. This project has to do with Bigelow Heights, URD, URD being an underground residential distribution system that we have out there. The existing primary cable is some of you probably know, is old, and there's been some faults out there, and our intent is to replace it. The existing cable is direct buried many years ago. That's the way they installed it. They dug a ditch and they put the cable in, and then they buried it. Today, standards call for it to be put in PVC conduit. So what we like to do is install conduit. One of the issues with conduit is you only can pull the cable so far in it, depending on the number of bends and the length of the pull. So we're asking for 6 splice boxes or heavy-duty handholds to pull to those handholds so we can splice. And they're 4 foot, 4.5 foot wide, 3 foot long precast concrete boxes, essentially, with a regular precast manhole cover and ring on it. They'll sit flush with the sidewalk or the road.
Okay. Next, anyone else wishes to be speaking in favor of the program? Anyone else? Anyone else speaking in favor? Okay, hearing that part, I declare that part closed. Next point is questions from the public. Any questions from the public? Please give your name and address.
Shirley Cox. I live at 15 Duca Drive, which is on the corner of Duca and Hood Street. The first question is whether the power that'll be pulling through is actually going to be attached to our homes that are on those streets, or is it a throughway to power for somewhere else?
No, it's strictly for what's serving those streets in that URD, those 6 streets.
How long will our homes be without power?
There's 2 phases. There's the civil phase of putting the conduit in, then there's the phase afterwards where they pull the wire in and hook it up. For the civil phase, you shouldn't be without power. When they pull the wire in and they hook it up from transformer to transformer, there'll probably be an outage, probably of an hour to a couple hours. You'll be notified, in advance that there will be. I mean, they just won't shut you off.
What streets are they actually putting the handholds in?
They're actually in the...
Will they be on all of these streets that are mentioned in the thing?
There's 6 of them, yes.
So,
yes, I don't have it, got it here somewhere.
so there's only 1 per street that's on the thing?
The streets that I have listed are Bergeron, Algren Circle, Duca Drive, Rogers Ave, Evelina Drive, and Hood.
So that's 6 streets, 1 hole per street?
Yeah, basically, a lot of these streets, they got intersections, 4 3-way intersections where the cable going to go 2 or 3 different ways. So we use that box to splice our cable in it and pull it the 3 different ways.
How much excavation will there have to be between holes? Like, how much of the street is actually physically torn up?
Well, actually, they're going to be going, most of it will be going on the sidewalk. That's where, it'll be going beside the existing cable that's there now, and we'll just put the conduit beside it or on top of it. And I believe most of it's all on the, in the sidewalk, with the exception of, obviously, where you cross the streets.
So you're actually going to be digging up the sidewalks where the FiOS runs down the sidewalk as well?
Pretty much. I'm not aware that
Again.
FiOS is there, but pretty much where our existing cable is now.
Will we be able to get in and out to our homes when the excavation work is being going on?
Yes, they should, when they go across your driveway, they should let you know that, when they're going to do it, and tell you how long they're going to be, or give you a chance to get your car out on the street.
What hours will they be working and for how long during the summer?
Again, the schedule hasn't been developed on all this stuff, so I'm just going by general knowledge of past projects, that's all. So I don't know. We're going to do it, like to do it as soon as we can, as soon as the weather clears, April-ish anyways. It was something that was supposed to be done last fall, but the weather caught up with us, so fairly soon.
How long will it take once the project begins?
Again, that's a lot up to the contractor, but I would say, well, total project, the civil work and the cable work could be a couple of months. Again, I'm not in the construction side of the house, so I'm speaking for them right now, so don't hold me to it.
Well, I was just wondering where the construction machinery and all that is left during the night when they're not using it? Is it left on our streets, or?
I wouldn't say all of it was. I mean, it depends. They should have, if we can, during a pre-bid, we haven't awarded this to a contractor yet, but during a pre-bid, they can get an off-site staging site.
And what is your requirement with National Grid to put the sidewalk in the street back like it was, or in a better condition than how you found it?
That's the way we operate. We also work with the city engineer that, with whatever their requirements are, but we put it back at least as good as it was, so we found it. That's the intent.
Okay. I think that's it for my questions.
Any other questions from the public? Any other questions from the public? If you have some, please come forward. Okay, hearing none, we go on to public speaking in opposition. Anyone wishing to be registered in opposition, please come forward. Anyone speaking in opposition? Anyone speaking in opposition? Okay, hearing none, I declare that phase of the public hearing closed. Questions from the City Council? Councilor Tenera.
Thank you, Counselor. As far as, I don't know if you're familiar, but we have had some outages in big storms. Is this the reason why these old conduits?
I don't know.
Yeah,
You say during storms, actually the underground system is the most reliable in a storm because
Right.
it's underground. But I know the cable in there is probably 35 years old probably. It's almost at its extended life.
Okay.
Today's technology is a lot better, so in the fact that it's going in conduit should make it a lot more reliable also.
All right. And what was the timing again? Month or?
Well, April, May-ish,
Of this-
as I
okay.
say, we wanted to get this going last fall, and with the weather and sandy and whatnot, we never got going on it, so.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Councilor Landis.
Mr. Chairman, just a couple of comments. My neighborhood was the first one 45 years ago that had underground utilities. And you're right, the problem was they dug a hole, put the cable in, they backfilled. But over the years, over the 45 years, I must say you people have done a pretty good job. And just speaking to the neighbors, one plus about it, and this is the Department of Public Works will enforce it, usually you get brand-new sidewalks. What they'll do, they'll dig the hole, put the conduit, run the cable, they'll patch it, and maybe let it sit there for, I don't think they go a full year. And then they'll come back and have a subcontractor, dig up the sidewalk. And put in a nice brand-new sidewalk. That's the plus about it. Plus, you're gonna have better service. I think the key is, Dave, I think we have to stress, you know, when you do go across the street, you know, you have to do a better job of patching than some of our cable people did. And I think that's the key, because, you know, you do want the sidewalks and streets to be as good or better. And of course, some of these are 32 years old, so they probably are like that. But I think the key is you get better service. We've gone through it twice over the 45 years, and I think you guys really have it down pat now. Dig, conduit, run.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we're doing a lot of it in, well,
Yeah,
not
I
just
have one other
Massachusetts,
question.
but
Now,
Rhode Island, too.
these are gonna be flat with the sidewalk, there'll be a manhole cover there?
Yes, yes.
I meant to take a ride out there today, I didn't. What type of, the transformers above ground or below ground?
The transformers that are there, they're pad mounts. They're the little green square boxes, 4x4.
Yeah.
They're all pad mounts. Some of the older URDs used to have what we call the submersibles, which they sat in a vault, and there was a meshed screen over the top.
Yeah, we had those for years. and then
We've been
finally-
replacing everything with pads.
Yeah, which I think made a lot of sense. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions for the council? Councilor Oro.
Thank you, Mr. President. Question on the conduits themselves. Are they ever put in with the concept of having other utilities share them, so you're not digging up every other 35 years?
Everybody's got their own agenda of, you know, I don't, do we ask Verizon if they was beside us if we're going to do it? Not normally, we don't.
Could your conduits handle
No,
another
well,
cable?
they're not allowed, communications cable is not allowed to be in electrical conduits.
Just curious.
Yeah, no,
Just
it's
thought
good
it might make
yeah.
sense.
It does.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the council? Any questions from the council? No questions? Okay, I declare the public hearing closed. This matter will be referred to the Public Services Committee. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 3.
Communication from the mayor regarding city clerk's transfer request in the amount of $18,712.85, which moves funds from assistant city clerk to appropriate $14,680.85 to poll worker and $4,032 to constables to fund special state elections.
Madam President.
Counselor Ossing.
Thank you, Madam President. Motion to send to the Finance Committee.
Motion made and seconded to send to the Finance Committee. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Number 4.
Communication from the mayor regarding comptroller's transfer request in the amount of $10,308, which moves funds from bond issue expense to finance assistant to fund costs associated with the unanticipated short-term absence of payroll personnel.
Counselor Seymour.
Thank you, Madam President. I would ask that the minutes reflect that I'm going to recuse myself in this matter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President.
Counselor Ossing.
Thank you, Madam President. Motion to send to the Finance Committee.
Motion made and seconded to send to the Finance Committee. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Number 5.
Communication from the mayor regarding line item budget presentation.
Madam President.
Counselor Ossing.
Thank you, Madam President. Discussed this earlier with the President, so just looking for an up or down vote if there's interest. So if there's interest, I'd like to move forward, so I'll make a motion to approve, and we'll see where it goes.
Motion made and seconded to approve. Any discussion? Counselor Delano.
Thank you, Madam President. We did discuss this last year. This is an issue that the council has been against for many years. When the mayor was down here as our colleague, he was adamantly against it. I think there's less transparency, less visibility for the public. And I think these days when people are losing faith in government, we want to be as open, as transparent as we possibly can. So I am very much and respectfully opposed to this. Thank you, Madam President.
Counselor Elder.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to express essentially the same thing I talked about when this was brought up before. You know, one of the very few things the council has a lot of control over is the money, and I don't want to do anything to sort of stop that. I wasn't here when you guys talked about this a little while ago when this was first brought up to what Councilor Delano was saying, so I don't have any past votes on this. But I'd rather see what we're doing, so like Councilor Delano, I will not be supporting this tonight. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Counselor Ossing?
So I will take exception to Councilor Delano. It's not all councilors, it is some councilors that didn't support it. This particular councilor has supported it. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Counselor Delano?
To clarify, I did say the council, as in, as a whole, with our votes. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. On the motion to approve, all in favor? Opposed? Does not carry. Number 5,
number 6?
number 6, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Communication from the mayor regarding reappointment of Chief Procurement Officer Beverly Sleeper for a term of 3 years to expire on the anniversary of her confirmation.
Counselor Tenera?
Sorry, refer to personnel.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the Personnel Committee. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Number 7,
Communication from the mayor regarding appointment of Joseph Collins to the Board of Assessors for a term of 3 years to take effect on the first Monday after city council approval.
Counselor Tenera?
Thank you, Madam President. Refer back to the mayor.
Motion made and seconded to refer back to the mayor. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Number 8,
Communication from the mayor regarding appointment of Lynn Anderson to the Council on Aging for a term of 4 years to expire on the first Monday in May following a city council meeting.
Counselor Tenera?
Refer to personnel.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the Personnel Committee. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Number 9,
Communication from Construction Materials Service, Inc. regarding request to extend time limitations on application for special permit 379 South Street to construct a new 2,400 square foot office building on non-conforming property to May 8, 2013 until 5 p.m. Order number 1213-100 5236B.
President.
Counselor Elder.
Thank you, Madam President. Just to update the council, CMS came before us about a month ago or so, and there were some still questions about where the project stood. So the committee asked that they go back and sort of redo a little bit of it, then come before us again. And they actually are before us tomorrow at 6 p.m. So we'll be taking that up then and see what the votes are for that. So for this, I would make a motion to approve.
Motion made and seconded to approve the time extension. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Number 10,
Communication from Metro PCS Massachusetts LLC regarding request to extend time limitations on application for special permit 98 Pleasant Street to install wireless communication facility onto existing building to June 4, 2013 until 12:59 p.m. Order number 12-13-100 5122D.
Counselor Tenera.
Thank you, Madam President. I need to recuse myself from this issue.
Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you.
Counselor Clancy.
Thank you, Madam President. This started about a year ago, and we're making progress. After numerous meetings, we're making progress. We're getting there. The time limit would have expired at the end of March. We didn't really have enough time to get it done. There's an awful lot of stuff going back and forth, so we'd like to extend it to June 4th. So I make a motion to approve. Thank you.
Motion made and seconded to approve the time extension. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Number 11,
Minutes of the Planning Board, February 11, 2013.
Counselor Jenkins.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to do items 11, 12, 13, and 14 and accept and place on file the minutes of the Planning Board, February 11, 2013. Minutes Recreation Commission, January 9th, 2013. Minutes of the Council on Aging, February 12th, 2013. And the minutes for Traffic Commission, January 29th, 2013.
Motion made and seconded to accept and place on file various minutes from various commissions. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Number 15,
Claims.
Counselor Jenkins.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to refer the claims to the Legal Department, please.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the Legal Department. All in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Reports of committee. Counselor Ossing.
Thank you, Madam President. The Finance Committee met on Monday, March 4th. We took up 3 items. Order number 13, 15318, transfer of $124,328 for Department of Public Works immediate transfers. The Finance Committee reviewed the mayor's letter dated February 7, 2013, requesting DPW transfers to fund line items associated with employee promotions, intern temporary promotions due to absences and vacancies, and police overtime associated with water and sewer maintenance and repairs totaling $124,328. The Finance Committee voted 5-0 to approve the transfers. Second item, order number 13-100-5333. Transfer $30,000 for internal to the Assessor's Office. The Finance Committee reviewed the Mayor's letter dated February 21st, 2013, requesting two transfers totaling $30,000 to fund contracted appraisal services for the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2013, and the Finance Committee voted 5-0 to approve those transfers. And the final order, order number 12-100-5204, transfer $2 million from undesignated funds to the OPEB stabilization account. The Finance Committee reviewed the Mayor's letter dated November 1st, 2012, requesting the transfer of $2 million from undesignated funds to the other post-employment benefits space stabilization account to continue the city's financial plan to meet these unfunded responsibilities. The Finance Committee voted 5-0 to approve the transfers. And finally, the Finance Committee will meet on Monday, April 1st, and will take up these three transfers. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other reports of committee? Counselor Alger.
Thank you, Madam President. I have two updates from Urban Affairs. The first one, we met on February 25th to take up order number 13-100-5306. Communication from Attorney Arthur Bergeron requesting changes to the City of Marlboro's zoning ordinance on behalf of Boston Scientific, who recently announced plans to build large new office at its existing campus here in Marlboro and to relocate its headquarters here. The proposed zoning ordinance will allow for the development of this project. Attorney Bergeron outlined the proposed changes which would take part throughout the city, but specifically being sought to permit Boston Scientific to add a new building to their campus. Building Commissioner Mendoza, and it was confirmed that he is the building commissioner, so that was asked at the last meeting. There was some confusion if he was the commissioner or the inspector, and he confirmed that he is the building commissioner. So Building Commissioner Mendoza stated that the three changes would not have any real impact throughout other parcels in the city, and the commissioner had no concern about the proposed amendment. So essentially, we only took up the first three. So if everybody remembers the public hearing, there were 4 different parts to it, and a couple of councilors brought up some concerns about the height requirement one. And because Boston Scientific is really looking to get this project started, the committee decided just to take up the first 3. And if we want to do any zoning changes, we can try to take up the height requirement. But for the process of getting this one done, we did not take up the 4th one. Motion was made by Councilor Clancy, seconded by the chair, to approve the first 3 changes, and that was done in 3 separate motions. The chairman requested that the committee table further discussion on the 4th proposed change regarding building height. The vote was 5-0 to recommend approval of the proposed amendment and deleting the references to the building height. And we will be requesting a suspension of the rules to send the solicitor to put in proper legal form. And the second meeting that I want to report out was order number 12-100-5220, and it was also 12-100-5081. Application for special permit from Cumberland Farms Incorporated, 412 and 418 Maple Street and Walker Street, to construct a convenience store with gasoline sales on the subject parcels and to operate a new facility from 5 a.m. to midnight. The hours of operation have been amended from the 24-hour operations sought under its prior submission. The chair read the changes to the proposed conditions discussed at the previous meetings with other input from the city solicitor and Attorney Lombardo. Attorney Lombardo resisted the committee's language regarding the city's sign ordinance and the language that the city has implemented in various special permits, but we did put some language in there about that. Councilor Jenkins informed the committee that he would not be supporting the project as the ward representative and urged other members of the committee to join him in opposition. Motion was made by Councilor Clancy to recommend approval, and the chair gave a courtesy second to the motion, and it was voted 3 in favor, 2 against, with myself and Councilor Landers in opposition. And we're going to be requesting a suspension of the rules to send that to the city solicitor too. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any other reports of committee? Councilor Delano.
Thank you, Madam President. The Operations and Oversight Committee met previous or prior to the last 3 regular council meetings to take up the issue of the Marlboro Economic Development Plan. It was our charge to find a way to accept this plan. Since the plan was a rather lengthy document, I don't know, 400 or 500 pages, even the executive summary was over 100 pages, rather than trying to approve all of the language, every page, whatever it might be, we decided to put together a preamble which essentially gave the sense of the council. So we started out with some draft language, we discussed what our priorities are, and eventually, through a lot of collaboration, we were able to make a a fairly straightforward one-page document, and I think it incorporated the feedback that we got from all counselors. So that being the case, there was a little bit of language that it was left to us to sort out, which we did, just a couple of words, what was best. You all have received copies of that, so the committee had voted 3-0 to approve, and we will take it up at our next full meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Landis.
Thank you, Madam President. The Public Service Committee met on March 4th to discuss the following order. And that order was 13-1005-286. And that was regarding the acceptance of Graves Lane as a public way, together with the required easements in the subdivision entitled Residence at Oak Crest. City solicitor, or Assistant City Solicitor, Panagora, submitted all the required documents and certified that the documents are in proper legal form. Also, Barbara Fenty, the chairman of the Planning Committee, sent a letter endorsing the plan to accept Grave Lane. On a motion made by Councilor Clancy, seconded by the chair, the Public Service Committee recommended the acceptance as a public way of Grave Lane, together with the required easements in the subdivision entitled Residence at Oak Crest, 2-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other reports of committee? Any other reports of committee? We have the request for 2 suspensions of rules for the Urban Affairs Committee. On the first suspension, 100506. All in favor of the suspension? Opposed? It is approved. The other suspension is 100522. All in favor of the suspension? Opposed? It is approved.
Okay, first order number, Order 13-1005-306, communication from Attorney Arthur Bergeron requesting changes to the City of Marlborough zoning ordinance on behalf of Boston Scientific.
Counselor Elder.
Thank you, Madam President. Motion to refer to the solicitor.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the solicitor. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
And the second order is order number 12-100-5220, cross-referencing order number 12-100-5081, application of special permit from Cumberland Farms, Inc., 412 and 418 Maple Street and Walker Street to construct a convenience store with gasoline sales on subject parcels and to operate new facility from 5 a.m. to midnight.
Madam President.
Counselor Elder.
Thank you, Madam President. Motion to refer to the solicitor.
Motion made and seconded to refer to the solicitor. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Number 16.
Order number 13-100-5235A, proposed zoning amendment submitted by City Councilor Patricia Pope to add a definition for data storage telecommunication facility and to add to the table of use regulations section 650-17 a category for data storage telecommunication facilities under industrial uses. Refer to Urban Affairs and Planning Board and Zoning Board. Public hearing was December 17, 2012. Attorney Bergeron addressed the petition and gave the committee a summary of the zoning change that will add data storage, telecommunication to the table of uses, and a category for the use under industrial uses. Both President Pope and Councilor Clancy spoke favorably of the change. The chair noted that making this change is necessary as the city looks forward to data storage and telecommunication uses that were not in existence when many of these zones were created. Motion to approve was made by Councilor Clancy and seconded by the chair. Motion to approve was adopted by a vote of 5-0.
Counselor Elder.
Thank you, Madam President. Motion to move the recommendation of the committee, which is to approve.
Motion made and seconded to move the recommendation of the committee, which is to approve. This is an ordinance, so we will take it in the 4 stages. So the first stage is to suspend the first reading. All in favor of suspending the first reading? Thank you. To adopt the second reading. All in favor of adopting the second reading? Thank you. Passage to be enrolled. All in favor of passage to be enrolled? Thank you. Passage to be ordained. All in favor of passage to be ordained? Thank you. Is there any objection to the passage of the 4 stages in one evening? Seeing none, it is approved. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.